So what I'm going to be doing in this video today is talking about Gyeon Mohs Evo, which is a ceramic coating that's new to me and I used it for the first time recently. So I'm going to be talking about my initial kind of impressions of it, how it was to apply, some tips, and the plan going forward in order to review this fully. So I've got it here and I'm first going to start off by talking about what you actually get with this coating. So I went for the 30ml option. There is also a 50ml option available. I'll talk a little bit more about how much you actually need later in the video. But you can also get a kit of this, which is also containing their cure, which is their spray sealant. I didn't get that, I just went for the coating. So this is kind of the cheapest option you've got available. I'll pop some links in the description to places you can purchase this from. I think I paid about 55 quid for this, so fairly sort of standard I'd say for a coating. Now, in terms of the other things you actually get included, you do get a little applicator. You are going to need more applicators than this. I quite like switching up the applicators and using a few per car. This one is a nice little one that's going to be good for sort of those intricate areas, but Gyeon also do a larger version, which I use for most of the vehicle. You also get some application instructions here. This does actually contain instructions for, I think, every coating that they do, so make sure you are reading the right one on that. And then you also do get a little maintenance guide here. So obviously this is good if it's your first time using a coating. It's going to give you a little bit more information on sort of things to avoid and some tips. And also if you are applying this to a customer's car, it might be nice to give them this as well, so that they're not wrecking the coating as soon as they drive the car away from you. You also get a couple of stickers as well. So you get one where you can tick what coating you actually used and the date that you applied it on, which can be quite handy to keep an eye on. And then also you do get some extra stickers as well if you want to put those on the car too. So I'll talk first about kind of the preparation process, and I won't go into too much detail here as that is kind of a separate video here. But what I wanted to make sure you were aware of if you are going to be applying a ceramic coating is that you do need to put quite a lot of prep into the actual surface. That's going to take more time really than applying the coating itself. It's really, really important, as if you don't do the prep properly, the coating won't last and you'll have essentially wasted both your time and your money. So in terms of the prep you actually need to do, of course it's going to start with a thorough wash. Then I would go into a chemical decon using iron and tar removers. Then I would clay the surface, and then after that I would machine polish it. Now, the extent to which you're going to need to machine polish it is going to really depend on the level of defects on the car. It's totally up to you kind of what finish you want to achieve. Polishing it obviously means that you're going to get a nice shiny, defect-free, or at least a reduction in defects in the paintwork before applying the coating. It's going to serve a couple of benefits. Firstly, it's going to actually prepare the surface and remove maybe any existing protection or things that are on there that wouldn't be removed by the chemicals you've been using previously. So it's going to prepare that surface for the coating as well. But also, if you apply a coating over a surface that's got a load of defects in it, it's just not going to look that great afterwards, and you're going to lock in those defects with your coating. So if you decide in 6 months' time you want to actually remove those defects, you're going to have to polish off the coating and do it all again. So best to get rid of those defects first before applying something like this. And then the final step that I did in terms of the preparation was to use Gyeon Prep, which is their panel wipe solution. I usually go with the panel wipe solution from whatever coating manufacturer that I'm using to ensure that they're kind of working well together. So I like going around the car twice with this just to make sure that there's no oils or residues from the polishing stage left behind, as these again are going to prevent the coating from bonding, and it's the last thing you want after you put all that work in, to have some oils on the surface that prevent the coating bonding properly and just doesn't last as long. So in terms of the application process of this coating itself, it is actually really straightforward. It's not a difficult coating at all to apply. So all you need to do is get your coating applicator and pour some of the coating actually onto that. Get a decent layer on there. You don't have to be shy with this coating. In fact, when you're applying a ceramic coating, it's generally best to apply a little bit more product rather than a little bit less. It is going to be fine during the wipe off stage. Obviously, you don't want to go mad with it and sort of have your coating dripping down panels. That would not be ideal. But you do need to get a decent layer on there, as it does really help during the application process. So when you spread it, I would recommend doing it in a fairly small area, so sticking between shoulders width and not really sort of reaching across the car, because with this coating, the time between actually applying it on the panel and wiping it off with your microfiber towel is actually pretty short. I was noticing this happening at around sort of the 10 to 15 second mark for me. Now this can be up to 30 seconds, I think it says on the instructions, and it will depend on your conditions. If it's a little bit colder, you're going to need to wipe it off a little bit later. But if you are working in a bit warmer conditions, then that wipe off is going to need to happen a little bit sooner. It's quite easy to see when you actually need to wipe that coating off, because you can see the coating actually sort of tiny bits start to bead up on the panel. It's fairly easy to see, and as I said, for me that was happening at around 10 to 15 seconds. So when you are spreading the coating on the panel, be careful of overworking it. I did do this a couple of times, particularly when I was first applying it, and I was getting used to how it actually responded. You don't want to basically cross-hatch it sort of several times, as you're going to get into the stage where you need to be wiping it off. So you want that sort of application process for that cross-hatch section to not really be taking any more than 10 to 15 seconds. Now, I would always recommend having at least 2 towels when you are applying a coating. You want a shorter pile one and then a plusher one, ideally. So I would use a shorter pile one in order to level that coating and remove the residue that you can see after you've applied it at that sort of 10 to 15 second mark for me. And then after I've done that, I'll take my plusher microfiber towel and buff the area and a little bit outside the area that I've applied it to. This is just going to really reduce the risk of any high spots and make sure you aren't missing any sections, as that's the main thing really to keep an eye on when applying a coating. You don't want to miss any sections, as if you leave them for several days or hours even, they're going to be really, really hard to get off and you're probably going to need to polish the car again. So definitely keep an eye on any high spots and just be really thorough when you are doing that wipe off. Now, you can actually layer up this coating after about an hour of applying it to that initial panel. I didn't do this on this car, as I don't really like layering coatings when I'm applying them outdoors, as obviously during that time some dust can start to settle on the panel, so I don't really like applying a second layer unless I absolutely have to. Now with this coating, it does say that it's a 3-year coating, but you can actually get an extra year out of it potentially if you apply that second layer, so it is something to consider if you do want to go ahead and apply that second layer of the product. Now, in terms of how much of this you actually need, obviously as I said, I went for the 30ml bottle. I applied this to a Renault Megane, so it's a fairly sort of standard sized vehicle, and I had just enough. I did have to keep an eye on how much I was using, and if I'd applied it really thick around the entire car, I probably could have run out on those last couple of panels, so I had to keep an eye on it a little bit. If you are applying this coating for the first time and you're just really a bit nervous about running out of products, I would just go ahead and pay the extra for the 50ml. It's just going to give you a little bit more of that peace of mind, so you don't have to worry about running out halfway through, and also you're going to probably have enough for that second layer if you want to do it. So another thing I did want to talk about is applying this product outdoors. Now, the Evo line of coatings do say that they are outdoor friendly. This does come with a caveat, and you do have to use common sense with it. So you obviously don't want to apply a coating in direct sunlight. That's not going to work well, so make sure you are working in the shade and those panels feel cool to the touch. You also don't want to be applying it when it's too cold. Typically, I don't like applying coatings in any temperature below kind of 8 degrees Celsius, that is. All coatings are a little bit different, so if the manufacturer does give you a temperature range, then make sure you do stick to it. Now, also, just be mindful of a couple of other things. You don't want to be applying it if it's super humid. If, say, it's a colder time of year and you're seeing actual humidity and condensation on the panels, then that isn't something that's going to work for coating application. You're going to need to do it another day. And also just keep an eye on how windy it is as well. Again, if you are working outdoors, then there's more risk of obviously dust and debris settling on the panel. So just pick a still day, or at least one where it's not super windy, as it's just going to make your life a lot easier in that respect too. Now, this particular coating does need to be kept dry for 12 hours after application, and they also don't recommend driving it during that period either. So do keep an eye on the weather forecast. Obviously in the UK that can be a little bit tricky to predict, but if the forecast is looking a little bit ropey, then I just would stick to applying it on another day. Don't risk it, as you just don't want to be panicking about the weather and checking it every 5 minutes. A final note on the application process of this is that obviously you're going to get your applicator pads at the end of it and your towels. They are going to harden up, so you won't want to use those on the paintwork ever again. I do usually just throw mine away or demote them to using them on tyres, and then when they get really grubby I'll just chuck them in the bin. But don't be tempted to use them on the paintwork. Even if they feel okay, it's just not worth the risk. Now, with regards to the aftercare of this coating, they recommend that you don't use any strong chemicals on it within 14 days after application. So I would generally consider that to be a sort of no wash rule. Don't wash it within 14 days is ideally going to give that coating as much time to cure and harden as possible. You're going to get better performance and durability out of it if you do that. So I will overlay some shots as well of the initial performance of this coating at that 14-day mark, when I wash the car for the first time. So I'm going forwards going to be washing this with probably a pH neutral snow foam, particularly at this time of year. I don't really need anything much stronger. But if the car gets a bit dirtier, then I will just use an alkaline one instead. And then I'm going to be using a pH neutral pure shampoo. I like pure shampoos as they don't have any gloss or wax in them that's going to basically mask the coating performance. So pure shampoos are the way to go for coatings in my opinion. And then a pH neutral one is going to be fine for maintenance. I'm going to do periodic chemical decons on the car as well to keep that coating nice and fresh. I'm not sure what I'm going to do topping up wise at the moment. I'm going to kind of see how it performs. I do generally like to apply some kind of sacrificial layer, whether it's like Gyeon Wet Coat or ceramic detailer, something like that, as it can kind of shield the coating and protect it a little bit more. But I am going to see how this one goes. Essentially, the plan with this is that I am going to monitor this coating for the next 3 years and give regular updates on the channel in terms of what I'm actually doing with it and how it's performing, so you can see really how it responds and follow along the kind of journey of using it. Now, I did just want to quickly round off the video by talking about the other coatings in Gyeon's range and essentially why I chose this one, this Mohs Evo, instead of some of the others. Now, to my knowledge, at the moment, at least at the time of making this video, there are several coatings in the range. There's Can Coat, which is a sprayable one that I have used, and that is really good. That lasts up to 12 months. However, on the car that I was using it on, I think I probably could have got longer out of it. Then their next kind of proper coating, and that's because it comes basically in the glass bottle, is their One Evo, which lasts a bit longer. So I think that off the top of my head at least lasts a couple of years. Then you're going into Mohs and Pure. Now, Mohs and Pure, to my knowledge, both last for about 3 years, unless you layer up. Obviously with Mohs you can do that. The main differences when I was researching them is both in the application process. So Mohs is one of those where you get it on the panel and you get it off pretty quickly, whereas Pure is one that you leave on a little bit longer, so you're waiting several minutes before you're buffing it off. I generally prefer the application process of get it on and get it off, and that's my kind of preference. So that's why I went for this one. And then also, Mohs is basically supposed to have a little bit more slickness in comparison to Pure, and I value slickness in a coating as well. The benefit of Pure generally seemed to be that it was providing a glossier finish. However, I was more than happy with the finish that this one left behind, and obviously with the benefit of that extra slickness, it was generally quite a clear decision, at least to me, which I would prefer, so that is why I went for this one. They also do a kit of this as well, which is I think called Synchro, where you basically get Mohs and then a top layer of skin, which you can apply after applying Mohs. Now, I've heard kind of mixed things on that. Some people said that skin was a little bit harder to apply, and as I said, when I'm working outdoors, I prefer a single layer application, so just Mohs for me was perfectly fine. Now, I'm going to pop links to all the products that I've mentioned in this video in the description and a few different places that you can get this coating. I also will be uploading a video on the main channel where I'm going to be taking you through the whole process on this car, both the interior and exterior, all the prep process and everything kind of I did on this vehicle. So I will pop that in the pinned comment when it is available, and it should be in the next sort of week or so. And if you have enjoyed this video, it would be brilliant if you could drop it a like, and thanks for watching.